So as simple as that, I made a video. The first guy I could think of on why gamers were single was Viscount. This dude looks like he lives in his basement. He looks like he never gets sun. He could possibly be a fucking vampire. So after that, he goes on Twitter. He starts e-thugging. You don't know me. As simple as that. You could call me a bitch online all you want, but in real life, this isn't a fucking game. As simple as that. You say it to my face right now.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little too hot. And that's it. That's it. AJ is popping off. He is popping off right now.
Look, I got one more thing to say. So, there's going to come a point when you forget about what happened, and you're going to want to come back at me. And you're going to want to wash the taste of my dick out of your mouth.
Now the funeral is over, and all the tears are dried up. Niggas hanging tape on the cut, getting fired up.
Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be filming at a different spot now because I actually found my new house, so we're making a transition to that place. Slowly, I'll get my studio back. Today's discussion is about bullies. Now this topic just came to me because I was watching a documentary on bullies. Yes, I'm super cool like that, watching documentaries. So yes, this documentary was called Shock, Bully, and it was directed by Lee Hirsch, and it really opened up my eyes on a lot of things. I think bullying is actually quite worse now since it expanded into the cyber world. It could be done on social media outlets like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Ashley Madison, I'm guessing. It's not just physical bullying, but to compound it with the mental aspect as well too, and it just makes this new reality so much more harsh. There is a strong link between bullying and suicides. According to the CDC, suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people, and this terrifies me. My little girl, who is 19 months now, she's actually a victim of bullying. At daycare, she's the youngest and smallest. The older kids would take her book and they would sometimes give her a small shove or a push. There was this boy. Now, I don't want to come off as the bully in this scene, but he was acting like a dick stick. When she was younger, about 1 year old, this boy, he would pretty much take whatever she was holding in her hand. So he would snatch it from her, push her, run away, and laughing while doing all of this. One day the daycare provider saw what he was doing, so then she put him in timeout. Back in my day, if my mom saw me doing something like this, she would beat me with like the cheap Chinese slippers that you find in Chinatown. Anyway, he was in timeout for like 5 minutes, I'm guessing. The parents of this dick stick boy, they got really butthurt. They were frustrated that he was actually disciplined. They did not like that. So he was removed from this daycare. I say good riddance. After his removal, she was no longer meek going to daycare, nor was she hesitant or distant at home. She was actually being her old self, happy again. Her colorful personality came back. Growing up, when we saw something like this, we just dealt with it and moved on. With technology, it is worse now. So when she enters school, where it is a jungle in school and only the strong survives.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 76th Hunger Games.
Whether your kid is the bully or the one being bullied, I believe that it all starts at home. If your kid is the bully, please take appropriate action and be more engaged and active in his or her life. Be a good role model, because how your kid is pretty much a reflection of how it is at home. If your kid is being bullied, please express to them that it's not their fault and that they're not doing anything wrong unless, it actually is their fault. Like they are telling your mama jokes to the person that's bullying them. Then they sort of had it coming.
Your mom is so ugly. One Direction went the other direction.
Of course I prefer boys, but ew, what an ugly lady!
That's not. I'm holding that for a friend.
Just monitor the situation and see if your involvement is warranted. Schools are now recognizing the issue and it is not tolerated anymore. In most cases, they will act quickly, and in some cases, there's actually preemptive measures as well too. It also wouldn't hurt to put your kid in some sort of martial arts class as well too. So I was watching some funny YouTube videos, and you know how at the end they always suggest you other videos that you actually may like? So for example, you could search on YouTube, guy gets punched in the nuts. Then 15 minutes later, you're seeing yourself watching a video on a documentary of the polar vortex. Anywho, I ended up watching this clip. It's a little bit long, but it's worth it.
I want you to think and ask yourself this in your head right now. What defines you? Who are you? Is it where you come from? Is it your background? Is it your friends? What is it? What defines who you are as a person? It's taken me a very long time to figure out what defines me. For so long, I thought what defined me was my outer appearance. I thought that my little tiny legs and my little arms and my little face was ugly. I thought it was disgusting. I hated when I would wake up in the morning and I was going to middle school and looking in the mirror, getting ready and thinking, can I just scrub this syndrome off? It would make my life so much easier if I could just scrub it off. I could look like the other kids. I wouldn't have to buy clothes that had Dora the Explorer on it. I wouldn't have to buy stuff that was bedazzled when I was trying to be like the cool kids. I would wish and pray and hope and do whatever I could to pray that I would wake up in the morning and I would be different and I wouldn't have to deal with these struggles. It's what I wanted every single day, and every single day I was disappointed. I have an amazing, amazing support system around me who never pity me, who are there to pick me up if I'm sad, who are there to laugh with me during the good times, and they taught me that even though I have this syndrome, even though things are hard, I can't let that define me. My life was put into my hands, just like your lives are put into yours. You are the person in the front seat of your car. You are the one who decides whether your car goes down a bad path or a good path. You are the one that decides what defines you.
She is absolutely correct. It is up to you to define who you are. It may be hard, and it also can take you quite a while to actually find out what defines you, but there's no race, it's just you. Don't give the bullies the power to tell you who you are. I highly encourage you to watch the video in its entirety. It's great. On that note, I am done for this entry. Stay classy.
When I was a kid, I traded in homework assignments for friendship, then gave each friend a late slip for never showing up on time, and in most cases, not at all. I gave myself a hall pass to get through each broken promise. And I remember this plan born out of frustration from a kid who kept calling me Yogi, then pointed to my tummy and said, "Too many picnic baskets." Turns out it's not that hard to trick someone. And one day before class, I said, "Yeah, you can copy my homework." And I gave him all the wrong answers that I'd written down the night before. He got his paper back expecting a near-perfect score and couldn't believe it when he looked across the room at me and held up a 0. I knew I didn't have to hold up my paper of 28 out of 30, But my satisfaction was complete when he looked at me puzzled, and I thought to myself, smarter than the average bear, motherfucker.